cloud, and I'm going to share my screen. Share screen and share. And if at any point you have problems, you're not getting the screen, seeing it, let me know. And we're going to start there. Let me do that so you guys are all going there. And everybody see the Zoom slide there? Everybody see that online?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Carly, you're the main one that I'm concerned about because your computer doesn't like me for some reason.
I know.
Okay. Here's kind of our agenda for the day. Success leaves clues. That's been a statement that's been coming out the last couple of years, but success leaves clues. I mean, you can see the clues that lead to success, the things that lead to success. Emil, you were in band, you taught band. So if a student wasn't practicing, what was the clue? Performance. Yeah, they were good. Ones that were practicing, you know, everybody was surprised. Whoa, they ended up so good. Well, you saw all the hard work they did. You saw the time they spent doing that. It left a clue that you knew they were going to get there. Now, I can practice all day long and I'm still going to be a sucky musician, but that's a different story. But for someone who has some talent and abilities, they're there. So we're going to talk about 2020, a year of contradictions, and we're almost at the end of this bloody year, and hopefully next year will be better. And then 2021, a year of success. Although, you know what, as an office, we rocked it this year. We've done very well this year through all this, and I'm very proud of you guys and what you've done. And I think 2021, I was talking with Carla last night, I think 2021 is going to be off the hook. And that's why I want us to be ready for it, because I think it's going to be a kind of a very strong year. And then we're going to do fun awards and surprises all mixed in through the day. So we're going to have some fun with things too. We'll spin for those who did some closings and that in a little bit. So again, please refrain from checking texts, emails, phone calls, all that. We'll try to keep things going there, give you good breaks and that. If you need to use the restroom, run real quick to use that. If you need to grab coffee, do that. But if we can try to stay focused, that would be helpful. Oh, good, I don't need that. Okay, because it's showing that my head. Here's a philosophy that's been going on since 1969 when Jim Weichert started Weichert, is that people buy people first. They buy people before they buy goods and services. And so that's just the fact. So we need to really learn to be responsive, good follow-up, and we need to learn to exceed our clients' expectations. How many of you in the last couple of years have dealt with a lousy agent on the other side? Not responsive, yeah. I mean, we've had a few come through the office. I had one where literally the agent disappeared mid-transaction. Like literally disappeared. Her assistants couldn't find her. Nobody could find her, track her down. Yeah, so. Oh my God. Thank you. No, we think that there was some issues that took place in the person's life, but they literally disappeared mid-transaction. So, yeah. So it was kind of crazy. So, success leaves clues. Jim Rohn said that. According to performance coach Jim Rohn, to be successful, you need to study the people who've been successful, the exact thing, or similar to what you want to do. So who are the successful people? And how are they, what are making them successful? Now, the mistake that we make, and I did this when I was pastoring, is we go and we see people who are successful and we try to do exactly what they did. You have to find your voice. You have to find how you do things. Now, finding your voice, oftentimes what that ends up meaning is that we don't do things that we should be doing because we're not comfortable with them. Not being comfortable with something and finding your voice are two different things. So on the table, there's the scripts right there, the just dialing right here. You can use the script all day long, but if you're just, hi, this is Dave Hansen from Weichert Realtors. I would, you remember, how many of you have seen the movie Up? There was a little boy. Hi, I am, he's using a little card, all wooden. You have to find your voice. Use the scripts to start with, but then find what your pace and your tempo is. Linda got a Weichert Lead Network call the other day. She goes, I want to listen to recording. And I thought she was in the room there. I think she's coming in. So, Linda, that you? So she got a Wiker Lead Network one. She goes, I want to listen to the recording. I can't find where to find the recording to listen to it. I found it, so we can see it. She goes, I think I might have talked a little long. It was 21 minutes. But she didn't get him in the contract, so. So ideally with a Wiker Lead Network lead, a few minutes at the appointment and all that. In this case here, with all the circumstances, she felt it was a longer conversation, and she ended up there in contract with something today. So good for her. So that's what I'm saying. Find your voice, find who's successful, and find the things that work for you. But don't ignore things that you don't like because they're uncomfortable. Okay. Success leaves clues, but this will not work unless you follow them. Tony Robbins said, you can see all the clues, but if you're not going to follow them, if you're not going to do things. So what's at the end of our hallway heading towards the bullpen? The success thing, the things to do. Now, I've adjusted a little bit for 2021. I'm integrating some things that I think will help you be more successful, and we're going to make it worth your time and effort to put the activities in. But we know that activities lead to success, and certain activities will lead to success in there. So let me just talk about 5 rituals that predict success. So our goal for today is to encourage you to wire these 5 SOPs. And SOP is what? Standard operating procedures. SOI is sphere of influence. So we encourage you to wire these 5 standard operating procedures into your daily life through consistent practice. So it's not ones you do once a year that will allow you to have a legendary life. It's what you do every single day. It's so funny because there was one year where I was just had a ton of stuff going. And I had people tell me, you are so lucky. Yeah, the harder I work, the luckier I get. It's just, it takes time. Right now, Emil and Naomi, Emil was at least 3 times this week because I'm supposed to be slowing down. I'm supposed to be taking a break. I'm supposed to get on vacation. I can't. I keep getting business because they're working. Success causes success. It's not what you do once a year. It's that ongoing thing. Emil's been an ongoing, he's a talker. He just talks to people. He just hangs out with people. That's why Linda had a 21-minute conversation. So here we go. That's right. So ritual number 1, the ritual of early rising. Now, I am going to adjust a little bit. My best hours are like from 8 or 9 to midnight. Those are my best hours for working. At night? Yeah, at night. Nobody else is awake. Nobody else is awake here. Everybody, yeah. Well, no, in terms of thinking and prepping and all that. So ongoing, yeah. But I am going to integrate in my calendar that I'm going to get out. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to lift a couple 3 days a week. I'm going to walk a few days a week. I'm not going to do it long. I'm not going to block out an hour. I'm going to block out 30 minutes and do that. And it may have to be adjusted a little bit each day, depending on what's going on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But getting up early, getting things going, getting things started. I get up in the morning, and usually one of the first things I do is make the bed. Unless Sasha jumps on the bed, then I can't disturb the dog, So, but I make the bed. I start with something where I get down and make coffee. I do something that is it's a win. I've accomplished something in the day. Maggie.
Quoted Tony Robbins. He also says you got to jump out of bed. So when you wake up, the worst thing in the world you could do is snooze. He said if you jump out of bed, then you're productive all day. He goes, but if you snooze, forget about it. It takes away from your day.
Yeah.
And the one I like is, and I use it a lot, is this is the day the Lord has made.
Rejoice and be glad in it. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, then go.
Right.
Yep. So get your routine started. Begin by sweating, doing something, get your energy going. And my wife is well known in our neighborhood because she's walking our dog's legs off every morning. So she's, I mean, it'll be 50-mile-an-hour winds, hail coming down, and she's out there. She goes, oh, and I'll come back. It's like, can't believe we're out there. Oh, it's not that bad. It's like, there's cars that are tipping over in the street, you know. You're flying the dog through the neighborhood. What if it's not that bad? But she's still walking the dog. Write in a journal. That's why I've given you a journal there to write things down, keep notes on things. It's interesting because I've got journals of when I was a pastor that I would go back and look at now. It's like, holy cow, I've grown, or I really learned some things there. So start a good routine in the morning, get going. Now, really, realistically, with my life right now, part of my routine is I get up, make the bed, make coffee, hang out with, I'm going to integrate 30 minutes of working out in there. But I have breakfast with Sue every morning, and we have breakfast, we listen to the Bible, and we pray together. That's kind of part of our routine right now. And so that's for us right now, I can do that. I don't have kids at home. I can take care of things that come up, but that's a really important part of our routine right now. Morning, James. So make sure you do that. Ritual number 2, time blocking. Now, I've talked about time blocking for about 5 years now or so, maybe a little longer. It took me a couple, 3 years to really start doing it well and effectively. So most everything that I do right now, I don't have to-do list for the most part. What I will do is I'll have a time block of things I need to do, whether it be for property management or for broker or for a property. And in the notes on my computer, on the calendar thing, I'll put in the things that need to be done. Okay. If we can not focus on them, thank you. You can. I know. I understand. I fully understand that. I know. I could have. But I almost exclusively just block things in my calendar. So what I did my business plan through the system. I did my business plan, and I posted it to my. It'll automatically post it onto your calendar. So now, is everything in there where I want it to be? Absolutely not. It's got things at crazy times. You know, it's got making phone calls Sunday morning. Well, in the normal course of things, I'm in church on Sunday morning, so I'm not making phone calls to people, but I'm networking with people. So what I do every Sunday night is around 9 o'clock at the end of the day. I'll sit down every Sunday and I'll go through my whole week because I now know other things that I've had to add to my calendar and that. I'll go through and I'll adjust my calendar.
You can do it
I can do my computer. I'll just adjust those things. So I won't eliminate those things that are in the block calendar of making phone calls or sending emails. I'm not going to take those out. I'm going to just arrange them to times where I'll actually be able to do them that will work. So what happens, there's 2 things when you block schedule. 1 is you just blow through it and ignore it. Or 2, you just hit delete, you take it out of your schedule. So those are 2 bad things to do. If it's in there, make it a priority, but also make sure you're putting in there things that you know, for your family, for yourself, for breaks, for thinking. So do all that. Vague goals lead to vague results. Both precision and these time blocks and a very detailed schedule, you'll do remarkable things in your week. What you'll find is you're actually more efficient because you're not bouncing all over the place. If you stick to it and you actually end up having more time free in your day. I find when I block things, I end up getting things done quicker. And I've had days where I had things blocked out all through the day to do. And by 1:30, I'm done with everything that I had through 5:30 because you get more efficient with it. Name, you can ask over an email.
You covered it in here and gave the name of it, and I've used it in almost everything I do, and that's that 80-20 principle that exists.
The Pareto principle?
Yeah, the Pareto principle, because with exercise, the majority of the benefit of the exercise is the first 20.
Right.
20% 20% of the people make 80% of the money.
Yep.
20%, and so a lot of times in these calls, they're gonna go, no, I can't, I'm not gonna spend 2 hours on these calls.
Yep.
I'm gonna go through it, I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna move on. And I'm gonna make my time to 20 minutes, not 20 hours.
Yep.
And feel like I'm happy.
Yep. So guy at the Vegas conference, I forget where he's from, for Weicker. He did a presentation and he makes 100 phone calls a day in the morning. So somebody asked me, said, do you really make 100 phone calls a day? I mean, really, honestly, do you do that? And he goes, no. And they said, oh, that's what I thought. He goes, sometimes make 150 because I haven't made enough contacts in the first 100. But he uses a dialer, and as it connects with people, he jumps on the line. So it's dialing, it's calling, and there's no reason.
Careful in real estate today, the no-call law has changed that dialer business.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, in California. But again, this was a couple years back. But until he gets another contact, he knows that if he makes X number of phone calls, it'll be X number of live answers. It will result in X number of conversations, which will result in X number of appointments, which will result in X number of listings or buyers. And his numbers worked, and he rocks it.
Do you know if it's the same laws for text messages? I've been getting advertising text messages at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Started doing that, yeah.
But again, vague goals lead to vague results. So if you've got vague goals, you can have vague results. Your schedule each day really does predict the rest of your life. Show me your schedule. I get what's important. It's funny because when I was pastoring, one of my priorities things was, wow,
$5.
that's really loud.
So she said something about that at the beginning of the meeting.
I did. Careful, little girl behind you. But when I was pastoring, I put in my calendar times for sermon prep, because once a week I had to stand up and do a 30, 40-minute message that I had to be ready for. I had, would have 150, 200 people showing up to church, and I needed to be ready to have something to say that was worth spending their time on. So that was in my calendar. And the times that I didn't give it as much priority, the messages weren't as good, trust me. If you schedule things, you should have two options: do it or schedule. Like I said before, either you do it or you reschedule it. Okay, it shouldn't be that you delete it or you ignore it. So if it's in your calendar, either do it or reschedule. Don't just ignore it, blow by it, and all that, because it's easy to get in the habit of ignoring it, of letting it go through. So I did my business plan, and again, like I said, on Sunday nights, I'll sit down and I'll arrange those schedules and do that. So here's a blueprint for a beautiful week. Allow for 30 to 45 minutes. Take a pen and paper and write it out. Start on Sunday and literally schedule it out every single day. It works very well for visual people. Putting your schedule in a digital device can get lost. I do it on my digital because it doesn't get lost. If I do pads, paper, or that, I don't carry these around with me, but I always got my computer, my phone with me. But again, like I do on Sunday night, I sit down, I schedule things in, I schedule time with family. I schedule things with my wife. I schedule things with the grandkids. And, when it was open and we had tickets to Six Flags, that was in my schedule. And I had people call me, hey, can you show me a house on Tuesday? I've got an appointment all day. Oh, okay. How about Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday will work. That'd be great. They didn't know my appointment was Six Flags with my grandkids, but that was an important appointment to me. That's a valuable appointment to me. So it's okay to schedule those things in there. If you schedule 5 days a week that you're doing that, it may be an issue. But strategic time blocking, it's a great source of staying on top of your game, having tons of energy. Now it says block out your 5 a.m. routines. If any of you are doing a 5 a.m. routine, then I'm happy for you. A 5 a.m., 5 in the morning. Yeah. But I am not a 5 a.m. person.
I have a 5 a.m. routine.
You got to take care of the baby? Yeah. It's not a voluntary one though.
I usually do, but then time changing now on 6 o'clock, which I'm very excited about.
Yep. But also make sure you block out, it says times at the office, make sure you block out times interacting with other agents in the office so that because it's easy to get off on an island and feel like you're not doing it. And you need encouragement. You need to help from other people when you're stuck. Block out times for prospecting, friends and family, weekly self-care, do all that. One of the things that I do is every year the NFL football schedule comes out, and I click on a thing and it puts it on my calendar. So my schedule for the Vikings goes on my calendar, and I just don't schedule things on there. It's
important games to you. You have to be there.
They're important. They can't win without me. So, and apparently they can't win with me. So, sorry, Naomi.
I was gonna say, where are you at?
Ritual number 3, the ritual of over delivery. It is so rare in our world now for people to just meet the basics of, I'm not talking just real estate, but all industries of what needs to be done and service. And man, when I go someplace where the service is exceptional, and that, you got me for life. You got me for life. I'll overpay for good service all day long, because I like being treated well. I like being treated like a person. I like people going above and beyond and making me feel that they're glad that I'm there, that I'm not an inconvenience to them. I way over tip if the service is really good, especially in these days now. It's like, you're giving exceptional service, and that we need to develop in our businesses the ritual of over delivery. Okay. Going to a restaurant, it's what you expect. Is it what you expect, or is it less than you expect? You go to a clothing store, is it what you expect or less than you expect? You go and need business today, it's generally delivering on what you expect, but more often, even less. So Sue used to work at Nordstrom. And if they were not over delivering on their service to their customers, they were let go. And customers did horrendous things, ridiculous things. They would, in Nordstrom's, the customer is always right. They would have people come in and get either a prom dress or a cocktail dress. They would wear it to their party, their extravaganza, and bring it back after the weekend. And it's all sweated and pitted, obviously been worn, stained on it. They were not allowed to argue with them or say, they would have to take it back.
That's when we all go back.
Yep.
We keep going back. I mean, I'm excited to go back
Yep.
to, Nordstrom all the time.
Yep.
Because of that policy.
Yep.
That's why I go to Nordstrom's clearance rack.
And that's where the dresses end up.
Sue and I walked into Broadway Plaza. It's right on the corner. It's a really expensive store.
Neiman Marcus?
In Broadway Plaza, Creek.
Neiman Marcus?
Neiman Marcus. Yeah, we walked into Neiman Marcus because they've got clothes and stuff. They got clothes and stuff too, right?
Is there someone over here? Carla.
Yeah, there's people.
I heard a voice. I was
Yeah.
like, Alexa, no talking.
So we went through into Neiman Marcus just for fun. We're walking through, and just how it was, and we're walking through, and they had like some bras on display right as you walked in. So I looked up and I looked at it. I said, "Well, I can get you one cup." You want to right or on left, because that's all I can afford. Yeah, it's crazy. So for you, okay, places I go, I go to Chevron. I overpay at Chevron because it's always easy and convenient to pay at the pump and that. I hate Arco. Their machines are never working. The thing's not always right. I've always got to go in. It's like, I am not going here. Now, I do have their Arco gas car wash thing. So I pay for the $25 and I go in 2 times a week and wash my car. So, but Arco, I hate. All right, yeah, Chevron, I love Home Depot. I go to Home Depot versus Lowe's because Home Depot always treats me right, and I get points there and that.
Those you get barely find people to help you.
Places you don't go. Here's where I'm not going right now is Trader Joe's.
Whoa, what
Because
happened?
They line me up outside. They're the only store who's done that since the beginning. Yes,
They all do it. Sprouts does it. If you go in at the wrong time, Sprouts does it. Home Goods does it. TJ, they all do it.
Yeah.
Once they reach that capacity, they do it.
I don't go to those. So I'm you know.
You just gotta be smart. What you do is you say, I have my mother-in-law in the car. You go during that time, 8 to 9. That's only the seniors.
Okay. So here's the thing.
There you go.
I stop at places. I stop at places when I'm going by,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll pull into the parking lot. It's like no, and I don't go in anymore.
Did you hear Naomi? If you're a senior, you get to go in early.
I'm not playing their game. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Only seniors.
You just don't want to admit it, or?
That's it too, that it depends on what time you go, because one day I drove by and it was such a long line at Trader Joe's, so that I came back later on that evening and it was gone.
Yeah, you just gotta know when to go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's not going out of his way to go.
I'm sorry. This is my point. I'm the customer.
Yeah.
Don't line me up.
It's
Okay.
the new rule from our governor.
Let's get back to the.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. You have a tremendous opportunity to lead the field in anything that you do by doing one thing, practicing every single day the ritual of over delivering. What do real estate agents tend to not over deliver on, and half the time not deliver on at all?
Following.
That's a say it again.
Follow up?
Follow up. That's a part of it. It starts with communication. Communication. Whether that be with active clients that we're involved with or people that are our sphere of influence, communication. We're not doing it.
Dave, I can't get over how many realtors text me back and say, thank you for answering.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, within at least, I try to answer right away.
I don't do a text message. Like I'll say, give me a second, I'll call you back in a text, you know, and then I will actually call back. And I've gotten so many agents like, thank you for actually calling me back.
Yeah.
And then thank you for answering the phone.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true.
but do the same thing with your clients though too. Make sure you're communicating to them and keeping them in the loop. We forget they don't know. We're so used to it that we just think it's normal.
Right, so
Maggie.
right in the beginning, I set them up for that 2-week lull period. So after we get everything, our inspections, everything, our disclosures, everything in, and then there's 2 weeks where I tell them, okay, so right now is the time when your title company and your lender are doing most of the things. So I will make sure that I check in on you every couple of days and write your questions down. And I kind of prepare them that there's going to be a 2-week span. We're not
When?
get into.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like towards the end. Yeah.
What
There's
about
always that
when the
lull
transaction
period.
is only 2 weeks?
Well, that's fantastic. I call them every day.
That's right.
Did that 5 minutes. Not 20.
So here's one of the things that I realize is that I haven't been over delivering with my agents. So one of the things that I've done is I've blocked into my calendar starting in 2021 is every Monday. And if you start blocking my call, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to get a new phone number. But every Monday, I'm going to call all of our agents, see how they're doing, what they need help on, where they're stuck, how I can encourage them. And just every Monday, I'm going to call everybody and see how you're doing. And hopefully,
So that we stop calling you.
what?
So that.
Yeah, you're going to call me anyway, so I might as well make the call.
Wait till Monday.
That's right.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna need a couple more of these then.
Okay. However, I do believe that with the rare exception, you guys can reach me almost 24/7. So.
Dave, can I add something here? I've only been here a short time. And when I came here, I was so frustrated from where I came from because I was learning nothing. Now I feel more confident, ready to go out on my own.
Good.
Yeah, thank you, Mary.
We had a lot of information. No, we did.
Yeah, we
had
do.
a lot.
Oh my gosh, so many answers. So many answers just within our system. But I wanted to thank everyone here.
Well, thank you for saying that's really nice to hear. So don't give them just what they expect, give them 10 times more than they expect. So how are ways you can give 10 times more than they expect? What are some things you can do? Let's brainstorm talk online too.
I know for me, I've gone to like people's jobs to get things done. Like I'll
Okay.
drive there and I'll get you to sign in during your break, whatever it takes, and you know. Oh, Mama, your kitchen broke something.
I'll get it.
Hey, Mom. Maggie knocked stuff over here, Mom. Carla.
You gotta learn to listen and hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen here. Yep.
Listen and hear what they're saying.
Okay. Anybody else?
Just move into the house.
A lot of times, clients think that they are bothering you or something like that. If they text you late at night or whatever,
Right.
I always tell them, you can text me as late as you like. Doesn't mean I'm gonna answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can definitely text me anything.
You
And
can try.
as soon as I start working in the morning, I will.
Yep.
I will give you a call back.
I get buyers right now that, oh, we're sorry, you have to keep showing us all these houses. It's like, it's my job. I enjoy doing this. This is why I get up in the morning.
I tell them, gosh, this is the fun part.
Yeah.
No idea what
Yeah.
goes after this.
Okay. Ritual number 4, the ritual of daily learning. No matter how busy you are, no matter what's on your plate, continue to learn something new every day. It's just be a learner. Learners are leaders, and learners, you know, you can achieve more. Every master thinks like a beginner. They're constantly learning. Go to conferences or schedules, conferences with people you can always learn from. So Emily got me hooked on a Netflix show, Queen's Gambit.
I love
Yeah.
that show. Such a good show.
That is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Queen's Gambit. So, but the thing is so she's this chess, she's this chess prodigy, but she's studying every day. She's studying past games of the masters, and she's studying, and she's and when she messes up, it just drives her nuts, and she studies more. Become a learner. That's just really the kind of the principle in there. And
You just don't want to take what she does to wash it on the ceiling.
yeah. Don't take drugs to improve your skills.
Money. Yeah.
You don't have to stop.
There is no more Tylenol PM, you won't, okay?
Sometimes I think if you get out of bed.
Okay. Be a 60-minute daily student. You got to continue to learn if you're going to be legendary in your market. Schedule an hour, even half an hour during your day to learn something. That can be audiobooks while you're outside. You could be listening to podcasts, sign up for Wycott Workshop, doing those different things there. Just put a ritual in there of learning. It doesn't all have to be real estate. It can be things that expand your thinking and that. Naomi.
Speaking of audio, that book that Judy recommended, the G effect or something. Remember she was here, she recommended that?
Yes.
Anyway, I have it on audio. It is awesome.
Oh, is it?
Awesome.
Get us the name. Okay. Ritual number 5, the ritual of private reflection.
The Aladdin factor.
The Aladdin factor. Okay. Private reflection. It's easy to be busy. Okay. So when I talk to people, I said, "How you doing?" "Oh, you know, great." And they said, I said, "Are you busy?" They go, "Oh yeah." "Are you productive?" And there's always a pause. Not as much. It's easy to be busy. Really, you want to be able to get where you're able to be productive. Private reflection. Taking time to unplug from all of this and just have time to think. You got to do that. If you're not doing that and you're going from thing to thing to think in real estate or with family and all that, if you're not taking breaks in there to think, you're going to find yourself. It makes no sense to spend the finest hours of your day doing all the wrong activities. Just a good thought. The people who get a lot of traction on great results spend a lot of time alone in preparation, thinking, and personal reflection. Thursday and Friday of last week, I spent hours, literally hours in my office here and hours at home, just going through my calendar, looking where I'm at, where we are as a company and where we are as a family, and where I want to go, where kind of my visions and dreams and thoughts are. Then I was able to start to put together a great year and put it into my calendar. But I just took time where I just had everything off and just just took time to think, where am I at? What's going on in my life? Where are my long-term goals? What are my short-term goals? And just did that. How much time you spend in silence, solitude, and stillness, just thinking about how you're living, thinking about your work, thinking about, and so here's the thing. When you start thinking about work, it's really easy to think about deals you missed, or people who burned you, or, people who were faithful and, and they went off. I just talked to Lori Avery, and she got a listing in my neighborhood, and she goes, yeah, so it's the ex-husband lives in the same neighborhood around the corner. And I've done a bunch of deals with both of them through the years. And I went over and did a listing thing with him. And I thought it was and he ended up going with somebody else. And he goes, yeah, we're just not a fit. And she goes, what the heck? We've done like 5 or 6 deals together, and all of a sudden I'm not a good fit for you, So, but when you're thinking about work, it's going to be easy to get, and I'll just say it for me this way, that Satan's going to throw those things in there to discourage you and defeat you and that. Don't get stuck in those things. You just throw those thoughts aside, thinking about, about your work, what you want to improve on. Maggie.
That's an example of an over and beyond person. Right there, agent. Yeah.
Yep.
She goes out, and instead of just sending a postcard, she gives personalized gifts.
Yep.
Like 4 times a year. And she calls her clients. She makes sure she goes through her list and calls her clients every day. She's got a few numbers that she goes through every day to make sure that she calls them. So she's really on top of it.
Yep. Yeah. So think what you want your impact to be. Think about what you're doing. Think about what your legacy will be. Well, I'm thinking that more and more because I've got 12 grandkids and number 13's on the way. And that's a really important thing to me, is have a good legacy with my grandkids. And I want to leave a legacy for them. I want to leave an impact on them. I want to impact their lives positively in the right way. Maggie.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that came in the other day that wants to get his license and come work for us. What did he say, Dave? That was really impressive. Do you remember what he said? It was really impressive. We asked him, we asked the question that, what was the most important thing in his life? What was the greatest lesson? Do you remember?
Refresh my memory.
He said that his grandfather was the biggest role model he'd ever had, that he absolutely taught him how to live. Yeah. What standards to have, and how to treat a woman. And and he talked about the relationship between his grandfather and his grandma, and his grandpa was a preacher. And he was absolutely just a wonderful, I really hope he joins the office, but he was an inspiration for, like Dave saying that he wants to leave a legacy. That'd be great.
Yep. Okay.
I'll add one thing. The legacy you leave is stuff you gather around you.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. It has nothing to do with stuff.
Yeah.
Has absolutely nothing. It has to do with, well, that's why for Christmas, we've really moved away from presents for the kids. They don't need more stuff.
That's why I didn't bring a
but what we do is we do experiences with them. We give them gifts where they can spend the night or go for dinner or that sort of stuff. So, okay, we're going to take a 10-minute break right now, and we'll jump back into it. Let me do a couple things here. Stop the sharing. Okay, so here we go. Back up to, we did the wheel spin. You guys online can see the spin wheel, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here we go. Oops. There we go. A year of challenges. 2020 was kind of a year of contradictions. Started out, woohoo, this new year, yes. And then it all kind of fell apart. But in the same thing, you guys have been very, very productive, accomplished a lot, got a lot of stuff closed. Here's kind of where real estate is right now. Imagine you're going 90 miles an hour down the freeway. For me, that's not hard to imagine because that's kind of how I drive. Especially if I'm going to Los Banos down I-5. If Sue's not in the car with me. So, you know, you're driving down the freeway, 90 miles an hour. That's kind of pre-COVID. And then as you're going along, you see a cop on the side of the road. You slam the brakes on, you slow it down to 60 or 65. And that's kind of when the COVID hit. You're still going fast. It's just, you're not as going fast as you were. But you're still going speed limit. You're doing that. It feels like you've slowed down. It feels like that. And that's kind of where we are right now. It's kind of where we're heading to this new year, is that we're flying down the freeway, smooth sailing, and all of a sudden brakes hit and things slowed down. And now we've kind of adjusted to it. As Weichert agents, you were prepared to meet the challenges of normal markets, but we all found out that the new normal wasn't too different from the old market. So people are saying, what's the new market going to be like? I think the new is going to be a lot like the old. Example, the old normal, meet potential buyers and sellers. The new normal, meet potential buyers and sellers. You still have to meet people. You still have to, do that. You're going to make listing presentations. You're going to still make listing presentations. You're going to hold open houses. You can still hold open houses. You're going to conduct buyers assessments. You're going to conduct buyer assessments. You're going to attend closings. You can attend closings virtually and in person. So the things we do, the relationship stuff we do still happen. So the old and the new are kind of the same. And you guys have done an excellent job, I think, of going the extra mile and meeting with people and consulting with people and building relationships. So I think that we pivoted where we needed to, and we hung with the course where we needed to. And I think that we're seeing good results from that. So Weichert put some virtual tools together and that you can use, and they're online there. And we can talk about how to find those, but not right now. But you can do virtual showings, virtual open houses, property listing ads with my Weichert, live virtual buyers events, neighborhood walkthroughs, property websites with live chat. All these things are available through Weichert to do that, as well as our MLS has some systems and things that you can use to do virtual stuff there. Now, here's the flip side of that. If you have a listing, you haven't had to do a lot of virtual stuff. I mean, you don't have to, I mean, it's not, they're flying off. And matter of fact, it'd be kind of frustrating having a listing where we can do open house right now, because a lot of your buyers say, well, I don't want to do an open house because, but open houses, I think, will be a thing that will happen again here taking place. So I think that next year, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think next year is going to take off. I think it's going to be crazy. On an aggravated level, the housing economy remains rock solid despite the shock and awe of the pandemic. I do think there are some financial things coming into play because with more lockdowns and shutdowns. I saw a thing in the paper or on news yesterday that pushing 50% of small business owners are saying they can't make it much more than a month or 1 or 2 months, and they're going to have to shut down. So, I mean, we're going to lose a lot of small businesses, and we're going to lose some. We've lost about, look at Slaton Ranch. I mean, there's a ton of businesses, the big ones that have gone out too, including Kirkland, which I loved. Oh, Kirkland's been gone for a couple months now. Yeah. No, Kirkland, Lone Tree at Slaton Ranch. Carla.
They just approved the vaccination. You can get vaccinated. It's going to start any time now. And I think if they can get it out within the next month and a half, and we still wear masks for a while, maybe these people will make it.
Yeah, hopefully they will, but we've already lost a lot. We're going to lose a lot. I mean, restaurants are just having a tough time making it too.
Responsibility too to go support them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that sounds crazy. But
So a couple weeks ago, we went to San Francisco. My mother-in-law wanted to go there for her birthday. So I was looking for restaurants that we could, at least go pick up food at and that. And there was probably about 10 that I went to their website, and basically most of them said, hey, we could do carry out, but it doesn't make sense to us to be paying people. We don't make enough off of that. We lose more money doing takeout than just not opening during this time.
Wow.
And there was one restaurant that'd been there in the family for 80 years, and they shut down because they just.
Yeah, if you don't have it pre-frozen, it's not a problem.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory, we went there a few weeks ago, and there was like 100 to-go orders.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, they were just all the way down the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
So buyer traffic jumped again in July, recording a 60.7% year-over-year increase in nationwide showing activity, according to data from the Showtime Index showing time. And again, the links that you have there, these are all, you can go to those links and look at, there's a whole lot more information on there. But if you want to educate yourself and learn some stuff, then you can go to those links that I put on your sheet that you've got there. So if you northeast, 76% growth, west 56%, Midwest 52%, south 46%, year over year increase. Foot traffic. This is from NAR through August, showing a similar trend. Every month, they provide NAR research with data on the number of properties shown by a realtor. And so you can see the foot traffic through August is up from last year. Every month is up, except for March, April, and May, because that's when all this hit and everybody was adjusting to that. People are pulling the houses off the market and that. But other than those 3 months, the foot traffic has been at similar or above. Look how strong our year was starting to go in February before all this happened. Look at the foot traffic in homes in February. So that tells me there's still a lot of buyers out there because they're still looking. Yep.
What does the foot traffic mean?
Foot traffic means people going to the houses to see houses. So those are people actually going, and they get the data off of super boxes and all lock boxes and all that. They're able to see how many people come and going on lock boxes.
Okay.
And foot traffic has a strong correlation with future contracts and home sales. So it can be viewed as a peek ahead at the state's trends that are coming. So as you can see, the foot traffic in July and August was strong. I know last couple months has been strong. I've been showing houses, and people are using the online scheduling thing, and I go to it's been on for 3 hours and it's already like 10 appointments set up. So people are going out and showing houses and that. What about 2021? What's going to happen? I'm ready to zoom out of 2020. That's a joke.
No kidding.
However, Zoom has done well for me for my stock portfolio, but yeah. So that's right. I wish I'd had Airbnb. Is it Airbnb or is it? Yeah, they just
DoorDash.
DoorDash, yeah, crazy. So those shopping for a home can afford 10% more than they could have a year ago while keeping their payment unchanged. That's translates to about $32,000 more buying power just because of the interest rates. They're able to do that. So, some people that they could only afford, $520,000 can be up to $550 or $560, which adds some properties to their options of what they can buy. So, interest rates are down in the 2s now, right? Just nuts. So glad I didn't refi when they were in the 3s, because I'm going to probably do it now and get it down to there. So, Lawrence Yun, chief economist at NAR, says he forecasts existing home sales to ramp up to 5.8 million in the second half of 2020. That expected rebound would bring the full year level of existing home sales to 5.4 million, a 1.1% gain to 2019. And home sales will ramp up again next year, increase between 8 and 12%. That is a huge jump. Home sales jumping 8 to 12. So I'm telling you, it's coming. That's why I want you to do your business plan. That's why I want you to put it in your calendar. That's why I want you to start doing those activities, because people are going to start selling and there's going to be people buying. And, you know, it'll be interesting because I talked with Lori, because she's got a property that came up in my neighborhood that my clients are interested. So I said, yeah, it's just, I think we're going to see a huge ramp up of people moving out of the state and out of the area. And she said, literally over the last 6 months, every one of her people who are selling are moving out of state.
Yep.
So Lori's not going to have any business pretty soon because all of her people are, all of her clients are leaving. So she does a tremendous repeat business, you know, but they're all heading out of state.
Just on the refinance.
Mine are too.
I get emails all the time from DAR and NAR, and what it is for agents only. So it's only agents. If you have a good credit score, they will do 2.1% for refinance.
Now you tell me.
I'm sorry, did you just go?
Yes.
Well, I just got it yesterday.
But you can't, but you can't have a Nordstrom credit card.
I scored 820.
I'm higher than you.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
What are you?
I think I'm 825.
Oh, big deal.
My mother-in-law's on
You know,
like
the
that
people with credit cards.
Yeah.
You can download it
2%
now.
that are like
Yeah.
actually credit. So I asked her back. she
I've
sounds-
always heard anything over like 7 is you qualify for
Yeah.
like everything.
Total inventory was down 38%. Buyers continue to be motivated by low mortgage rates and a strong desire for certainty of ownership in an uncertain world. Quickly putting offers on homes that come up for sale, driving the overall number of homes for sale lower. So again, we all know our inventory has been down. I think the next year will be the first year that our inventory is going to be up that we've had in the last several years. So I think we're going to see an increase in inventory. Unfortunately, I think we're also going to see the foreclosures are going to come into play more than they have in the last couple of years too.
I showed property yesterday, and the young man that I showed my property to, he said there's like 4 million people that have not paid their
Yeah.
their house payment in California alone.
Yep.
That's where he's going.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Why,
Wow.
why do you think we're gonna have foreclosures? Is it because of the people who put off paying their mortgage payment and they're gonna get into trouble over that? Or do you
Yes.
think because they're
Yes.
paying too high home prices right now?
Well, because they don't have any work.
Well, they're not working. They can't make their payment. So
Okay.
they're falling behind. They can't make it. And
They
so,
couldn't make a 1 month payment 6
Yeah.
months ago. How are you gonna
But really-
figure it out?
really, I don't think that the foreclosure is going to be as strong because a lot of people have equity in the home. So they'll be able to sell it and pull money out of it and be okay in that sense. But they're still not paying their payments that are going to foreclosure. Now the prices start to go down. So yeah, I think we're going to be stable for a while, but when you start to see things dropping, I think it's going to be hard and heavy.
It'll accelerate.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Los Altos area, Palo Alto, here even, you see signs in the window saying hiring. There's a lot of people hiring too. Amazon
Yep.
is hiring, and so I'm hoping
People will go
Yeah.
back to work. Yeah, because they're so comfortable getting those stimulus checks.
Oh, I
Or
do a
those
lot of them.
unemployment.
I don't want to go back to work. I'm getting good money with unemployment. Better than what I was
Yeah.
getting before.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I'm hearing that a lot.
I hear that a lot, and I'm like, you need to cut that stimulus check.
Yeah, well, it is, right?
Yep.
January, February.
I hope so. That's not cool.
Okay. Focus 2021, focus on low inventory, not no inventory. Here's the thing is that we've had historically low inventory over the last probably 5 years, but it's not no inventory. It's low inventory. There are still people moving. There are still people buying and selling. So we need to get out of the thing of that there's no inventory. There is inventory because we see stuff pop up. So, and there's going to be more inventory. So the question is, are we going to put ourselves in a position to capture some of the inventory coming on the market, or are we just going to go and, the Eeyore thing, it'll never work, and there is inventory. You got to go hustle. I got my license in 2006, I think what it was. So I've had it for 15 years next year. It was a terrible market. It was all falling apart. We had almost no tools. do we have cell phones at that point? We just, yeah.
Next cells, right?
Yeah. So, but it wasn't like anything that we have now. It was flip phones and that sort of stuff.
Nokia brick phones.
Yeah.
Phones that actually lasted more than a few months.
Yeah. So I got in at that time, and the technology was so substandard to what we have today. You know what? You know how I made it? Now, you understand. I stepped out of full-time vocational ministry and other things and got into real estate. Had no experience, had no idea what I was doing. I've never been a salesman. I'm still not a salesman, but I had a family that I had to feed, and I had to take care of business. So I worked hard. I hustled. I talked to people. I made phone calls. I did floor time because we had more people coming into offices at that time. We have much less now than it used to be. My first one was because I got known as the floor time hog because I was always doing floor time. But that's what started my business. Jim Weichert started his business by going to the train station and handing out business cards to people getting on the train to go out of town, or as they come back in, hey, I can help you, move closer to your work and that. That's how he started his business. So for those of you who are new, I understand it's work, it's hard, and it takes a little while to get the momentum going. But you got to press through and fight through. You have so much more available to you than when Maggie and I got in. We sound like dinosaurs. And, when Emil got in, it was smoke signals. And
I got him beat. We had to chisel stone.
Yeah.
Along with the low inventory thing and people not being able to find houses, I found it very helpful to still stay in front of agents. So I actually try to go on the tours and do that online on Zoom. And then also I make phone calls to agents.
Can you do me a favor, maybe send a link on Tuesday for all of us?
Yeah, well, the Tuesday one, I haven't been getting the link for the Tuesday, but I think you can find it on the, the website where we go and talk to each other. Supposedly it's on there.
On the Facebook?
Yeah, supposedly it's on there, but.
Okay, we can come back to that. Okay, there we go. Again, it's low inventory, not no inventory, and I think we're gonna have more inventory, but don't expect as more inventory is coming on that it's just, you're gonna get a portion of that just because you exist as realtor. You have to do things to make the phone ring. You have to do things to get people to engage with you so that you can have the opportunity to do the listing. Yeah, if you list a property, buyers will come. I've got clients right now that I'm working with, buyers that I've been working with them for a few months. We've seen a ton of homes. We've written a ton of offers. So it's just, buyers, you can get stuff closed, but listings, that's where your strong chances are making an income is because people show up for the listings. The Great American Move. As states, cities, and counties around the country slowly reopen, we predict the Great American Move for safety reasons, financial prospects, life change improvements, personal comfort. A lot of it's not on there, but a lot of personal reflection by people of what is important to them in life, employment opportunities, being able to work remotely, that sort of stuff. We expect a surge in household and business relocations over the next few months. It will provide new strategic opportunities for real estate. So people are going to be moving, and they're going to be moving to areas that people hadn't thought about before because they can, because a lot of people are able to work remotely. Now, what I think is going to happen, we're going to see people in our area who can work remotely or are just kind of tired of California moving out of our area. People from the Bay Area, San Francisco, who have been living in a $4,000 a month apartment with 3 kids, saying, hey, I can have the same payment there. I got to commute to the office once a week, and they're going to start moving out here and buying properties out here. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what we're going to see. I think our area is going to be strong for at least the next year. Beyond that, hard to say. But I think we'll have a good, strong 2021. Home sellers, U.S. home sales report. Home sellers nationwide realized a gain of $75,000 on the typical sale, up from about $66,000 in the first quarter of 2020, and from $65,000 in the second quarter of last year. The latest figure, based on median purchase and resale prices, marked yet another peak in level of raw profits in the United States. So Housing values went up. There, again, you've got links. I encourage you. I went through some of these ones yet, these links, and there's a whole lot more in there, but some really good, encouraging, helpful information. And it's good stuff for you to know too, because people always ask you, whether you're new or experienced, is how's the housing market? What's going on in the housing market? Do some research so you've got some information that you can give to them and help them to understand. That's where you're becoming a learner and that. Finding sellers, target sellers easily. We've talked about the significant amount of equity in people's homes, and a lot of that is due to tenure, the time they've been there. A lot of that due to the way that people have stewarded equity in their homes for the last 10 years or so. People have refinanced and reduced their payment or their what they pay, but they're paying more, paying more principal. So people are kind of get it from the last downturn. They're a little more wise with their money in their homes. What does that mean? It means that right now somebody is thinking about they have an opportunity to go out and make a move, make a decision to do that. So there's a thing called, and there's the website link in there, is a personal equity assessment report. And this is something you can use with people looking to make a move, looking to sell, understand what they've got there. And you can put this together, and it's the keepingcurrentmatters.com content professional equity assessment report. So it's one of the links that I gave you in your thing there. It's called the PAIR report, but it's something that you can go through and put together for people and talking to people who may be considering. And what it is you'll fill in an editable PowerPoint presentation. You can present to your clients. You can send to them. You can go on Zoom with them, but you can put together so they understand. You can in person. You can send it by mail. You can print it. You can do a Zoom on it. It helps them to see where they stand and what the possibilities are. Okay. Professional equity assessment report is a custom evaluation of your home's cash value. And these are some of the editable slides of your home. We can determine your home's approximate equity. It's a powerful tool to help you make confident decisions in selling your home. And then you can put in home value, mortgage balance, equity estimate. That's pretty simple there. So you can put that in there. Let's talk next steps. So you've got equity, you've got money there. Again, a good approach on this is to find houses that are in default, where they've got an NOD, notice of default on the property. And they're, in other words, the foreclosure process has begun. Put this together. It's like, hey, you're not making a payment for whatever reason. I get it in this time and that. However, don't lose your home, because you can if this isn't taken care of. Option for you is here's what your house is worth. Here's what you owe. Here's your equity you have in there. It may be a good step for you to sell the home, take the equity out, get into some place and sit for a year or so, and then come back into the market.
Well, that might be a good lesson for someone to prepare in that is, what is the buyback, the REO, the future REO? How will that probably take place? What are people doing now that are going to put them in a bind? I mean, I kind of know, but I really don't know the details of what they're committing by not making a payment or doing a partial payment or whatever. And that would be really informative, because it'd be nice to be, are you doing this? To be able to talk to the person intelligently about what they're doing without getting into tax.
Linda, can you write me a note? Foreclosure /NOD.
Because I think it's
conversation. So in other words, how do we put a conversation together with those people in that situation? So what would be the things you would do in saying and talking to people? Foreclosure radar. I'm not right now, but
maybe that's another.
What I'll do is, So what I'll do is I'll subscribe to it. If you guys are interested in working that, I'll start giving you addresses and that of people to contact. Yeah, there's a script for it.
Careful, as we can talk about later, but
because
they're not responsible for anything.
Yep. And then let's talk again, next steps, putting things together, help them understand that they've got equity in there. And again, those are customizable slides where you can put different steps in there, things you can done. Where are you going? Here we go. Available market over the past 12 months. And this was as of when I pulled this 3 days ago. Over the past 12 months, 3,810 homes sold bay to bay, from Bay Point to Discovery Bay. Okay. So 3,810 homes sold. That's actually down from last year. It was lower 4,000, but still.
Do you know how many of those sold overpriced, like over the, because I know they're all selling over. I get it, but is it like an increase of 5, 10, 15?
You know, it's interesting because I think it's been like 1 or 2% over.
1 or 2%?
Yeah, on average.
Okay.
Yeah. That means a sales volume of $2,390,766,254. That's the sales volume. That's total. That commissions paid out roughly almost $60 million in commissions paid out. Yeah. So again, we say low inventory, but it's not no inventory. There's 3,810 homes that sold. These are single family. That's not, yeah. So, okay. Any questions in this section here? It was a lot of data and that, and then we're going to take a break in a couple seconds here.
Where do we
and then there's,
Dave?
Say it again.
Where do we find this?
So there's a packet that I've got, and I'll send it to you with all the links of those things we just talked about, that you can go and look at those different. So the, oops, yeah, these things. So all these things here we talked on here, there's links for all of those, and I'll send those to you, and you've got those, and you can just click on links. There's a lot more information that we have on the slides here that's really helpful. So.
I lost your screen, Dave.
Okay.
Pick me
well,
out.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break in a couple of seconds.
Okay.
And we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and then in-house you guys can follow along online. We're going to do Jeopardy, where there's going to be prizes involved. Whoa. So rather than it being a, what are we, 10:37? What? It is not. So we're going to, rather than 10 minutes, we're going to do 7 minutes. And so start the clock. Set, oops. Clear. Back. Clear. Clock has started, a 7-minute break. And I'm going to stop share with everybody, and I'm going to pause.
Just write emo.
Yeah, 2021, I would write.
Okay, so here we go. And Carla asked a question if California is trying to tax people who are leaving the state. Yes, they're trying to do a corporate or some sort of a tax thing for 10 years, but that'll never fly. So, okay. This section we're going to go through quickly because I want to get to something that is going to make a difference in your there. But just reminder. There we go. Build your brand the Weichert way. There's listing tools, marketing tools, sales tools. You got to start using these tools more often and more effectively. They are things that will really help you out there. Doors, we talked about that. Is a great presentation. Linda's a master at putting them together, but they really will make a difference. It sets you apart, differentiates you from other people.
Doors.
Consult with buyers. On the table here, we've got a buyer consultation. It's a great thing. You help qualify people. You help people to understand what we've got, and make sure that they have talk with the lender to show them what the process is, so they understand that buyer's consultation is really important. It's online. We've also got them in the other office there. We've got the buying and selling brochure, which is invite us in. We'll do results. I think it was down there. educates buyers as well as sellers, illustrates the Weichert way, shows them all the steps involved in the process. It has that fold out thing that shows all the things you're going to do during that transaction to help them. People think you're just putting a sign in the ground and making $1 bazillion because things go so quickly. You have to help them understand what the process is. Let's see. Okay, open houses as we get in going involved there helps create maximize traffic, and we'll start seeing those coming more into play there, and it's gonna be a great source of leads and adding to there and converting them into buyers. What percentage of people that come to an open house end up buying within the next 6 to 9 months? It's like 60-something% of people who come to an open house buy within the next 6 to 9 months. And so that's why I'm anxious for us to be able to get back where we can do open houses again, which it just doesn't make sense to me that we can't, because it's the same thing as going to the store or that. People come in wearing masks and that. So
I had a question about the open houses. So I've seen agents do open houses, but they said it's not like a typical open house because they're touring people around and they're having them sign a PED before they go in. So they're signing in, signing a PED, and then they tour them around the house, which that's like the Weichert way anyway of taking them.
right,
We're supposed to be touring them around the house, so you're with them
right.
through the whole time. So if that's our like Weichert way of doing the open house, why can't we do open houses?
Because they're not supposed to be they can set appointments and they can be the one who meets the people at the house for those appointments, but they can't officially do an open house.
So you can't have other. What do you mean you can't have other?
You can't put signs out. You can't. What you can do is you can put on that I'm doing an open house and here's the time slots. Only one set of people in at a time. So you can do it that way, but you can't put signs outside.
As an agent, though,
what?
on an open house. I shouldn't have been able to go as an agent on an open house.
Not during
To
the
visit
time.
one?
Yeah, I was scheduled and they said, you'll have to wait till this party gets out. That party got out. I gave them the feed. We went in with Joey Nardone on the first house before you came.
Yeah, you can do it. The technical rules say one agent and maximum of 2 clients.
Right.
My client showed up yesterday with their son. It's like, I'm not going to keep the son out in the car and that. So
why do they complain about that? We have other agents like Angela that complain about the freaking kid coming in.
yeah, it's
She's just a complainer.
Can you get in trouble if you do that, if you're being recorded on somebody's camera?
Oh, okay.
all they can basically do is the agent would call you up and say, hey, you shouldn't have done that. And you say, oh, I'm sorry. And you move on. There's no punishable thing by that. If you do it, if we get a bunch of them, then that could be a problem. But I'm going to say, don't worry about it. I mean, here's my thought. People want to sell their home. If they're really going to get that upset because somebody came in with their child, then I don't want to get in contract with those people anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So
are we able to do something that's like not called an open house, like appointment only showings?
You can do that.
Because it's not an open house.
Yeah.
It's like what if I wanted to do like an event page and it says like appointment only showing?
You can do that. Yep. I would do that. Yep. I wouldn't put it on MLS that way. I would do it on social media, those sort of things. Yeah. Or send out. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, can you grab
personalized branding materials that you can do, again, signs, business cards, all that. And we need more business cards up front. If you don't have yours up there, get them up there. Direct mail, which we know. Here's one of the things. Here's a new thing that we're instituting. Everybody listen carefully. Starting now on a new listing, if you are not going to send out a just listed or just sold to 100 homes surrounding that, we are going to do that as a company. We'll pay for it, but it's going to be branded to the leads coming to us that we'll distribute out to other people. You're going to have to let me know that you've done it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you're not sending out a just listed and a just sold to 100 homes surrounding that, your choice not to, you're hurting yourself by not doing it. But if you choose not to do that, we need to know within the first couple of days that if you get the listing, and we're going to do it. We'll send out as a company because we want the branding to go out there to those neighborhoods. That's what builds the brand.
It branded as like the Weichert office, not specific to an agent.
It will not be specific to an agent. It'll be a Weichert, and then we'll take those leads in and we'll dish those out as a company generated lead. If you're not going to do that,
I have a question. Can you do, if we represent the buyer, can you do it just sold or not?
sure.
Oh, you can?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yep.
Oh, can you do a welcome? What do they call it? Welcome to my neighborhood instead of like a just sold? Like,
Yeah, however you want to do that. With your buyers, yeah. But on sales, on listings, this is on listings, not with buyers. On listings, you need to know, and we'll put something together that you have to verify that. So I got to know within that you're doing it, you've ordered it, and maybe a receipt on that. And if you're not doing that, we're going to do that because we want to get the word out. We want to continue to grow that, especially as we go into this next year. And I think we're going to have a lot of listings. Okay, everybody clear on that online too?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put something out there. Sales materials, we've got all sorts of stuff there. Online marketing centers. So these are all things that are there. Yes.
So regarding like the marketing, does the price trend analysis fall into any of those categories?
For
like the sales marketing or anyway, I had somebody, I got a call on, I dropped a price trend analysis off to a neighbor of the person that called me, and she goes, how come I didn't get one? And I go, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna drop one off to you, earliest would be Monday, is that okay? She goes, yeah, I really want one.
Good.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. Again, it's different. It attracts attention. Let's see. Habits of making connections account. Habits of successful agents. Have a routine. Stick with it. Time and activity management. Use technology to be more efficient. Prioritize the right activities. Exercise and eat right. That's where I need to improve on. Treat your career like a 9-to-5 job, time blocking, and follow up, follow up, follow up. Sphere of influence. It's everything to your SOI sphere of influence. It's meaningless if it's not organized. And I'll tell you this right now, my SOI, my database is not as organized as it needs to be. So that's one of my goals before I get to the end of the year is really getting my database organized. Where to start? Who are people you know? Who are the people who know you or names and contact information, put it into your My Weichert. How do you know them? Put in information in there, categorize them, hashtag them, do all that. I tell you that the hashtagging thing within the database is so great because I can go find people and things quickly that way. I love the search stuff with that. It's wonderful. How large should it be? It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. So it should be as large as you can get it that you can do something with it. But if you just got names in there, you're not doing campaigns with them, you're not following up, not making phone calls, it's no good. So size isn't the issue, is what are you doing with those who are in your sphere of influence? If you're not working your database regularly, we're going to talk about this in a few moments. I'm getting through this because we're getting close on time, but there's some important things that I want to get to make sure that you have a successful 2021. Sphere of influence, past clients, boosting properties, all those sort of things, puts it in there. Get those things into there. Here's a few things designed to make connection: text, call, email through the system, smart campaigns, behavioral community automation, search alerts, market reports, automated birthdays, putting out price trend analysis. All those things are things you can do. Here's the point. We have a huge menu to choose from. So let me just show you. Here's all the Weichert things we've got. the CRM, the lead management, lead engagement, text, call, email through the system, My Weichert app, lead validation, customer timeline, and so on. You can see all the things, Google, Outlook.com sync, behavioral automation, automated campaign communication, smart campaigns, mobile dialer, search alerts. So smart CM, marketing autopilot, lead engine, websites, My Weichert website, lead gen, land page, squeeze pages, open houses app, text codes, business analytics marketplace. So we've got, let me get down simple. Start with this, your profile and website. That's the appetizer, get that set up. First course, import your contacts and keep importing them. Second course, engage your contacts. And then the last one is smart campaigns. Another thing that we've got is the $25 client follow-up, $25 for 5 years. At least to get something out to your clients. And I do get clients who respond to that when I do that. Yeah, Linda.
Does that go? Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I still say we set that up for every time we have a closing and everybody agree on, you're gonna get an extra $25.
Okay.
Now, I think we should really do that.
Okay. We'll do that. We did. We got some pushback from people. I want to do my, but we're going to do that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That should be it.
Well, it's never, I won't go into it.
What you can do is maybe whoever wants to do it, because we all get that email that says, submit your terms. We can send an email to clients, say, please, do the $25.
I just rather do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So is that should we do that for listing, like for when we have for the buyer that gets into our listing too, or is that just for our clients that we're representing?
Your clients, close. These are for closings.
Right.
Yes.
You can take your client list that you've worked for before, and you can do that too.
Oh yeah, you can go through your client list and set them up with this yourself. This will just be for closings automatically. But yeah, you can do your client list too. That's a great thing to do. Yeah. Okay. So we are not going to do a break. What we are going to do is we are going to award our Big Board Challenge winner. So she's a wife, she's a world traveler, she's a dog mom, and now she's a mom. Linda Nicholas. I have a check for $1,000 for your vacation.
Very nice.
Our big board. I got a few minutes to finish up here. So, just so you know, yes, we are tracking things. We are rewarding, and we're going to increase that this year. So here's the thing. So here, oh gosh, we got this to go through. Okay.
You're okay.
Your business plan. Okay. Our average sales price for this year out of our office, the average sales price of our properties was $745,000. That's our average sales price right now.
Wow.
Okay. For the region, it's like 538. So you guys have done well. Okay. Average commission at 2.5%. Average commission per site is 18,000 is what our average is. Success rate. Listing appointment versus listings taken. I think we're at about a 75% of people who went on listing appointments and got the listing. Listings taken versus listings sold. We're at about 85% because we had some that we didn't get sold for a variety of different reasons. Buyer versus buyers closed. We're at about 60% rate just because it's so hard to get us taking people into contract. So, but that's pretty good. So average for our company, average company wide per person production was 3.85 closings for the year. Okay. Here's the point, and we're going to talk for a few minutes because hopefully you put your business plan. If you didn't put your business plan together, I want you to do it. I spent about 2 hours going over mine because I wanted to really understand where I'm at and what I'm doing. Here's the point. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. If you're putting your head in the sand and you don't know what your numbers are and you're not checking things regularly, you're missing out. As much as I hate numbers, and actually Maggie checks it every week more often than I do, but we have Judy put out a report every week of income, expenses, and what we're doing, so we know what our numbers are. We know what's going on. We've got some adjustments we've got to make, but it's helped us to see what our trends are. And Maggie will come right into my office. Did you know? she's on top of that, which is what we need to do. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. Okay, that's why the business plan is so important, because if you don't know your numbers, if you don't have an aim, you're going to hit it every time. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business.
And it'll get asked for personal information. It's important that you do that too, because you got to factor in your tax. You don't want to be those people with 50 grand in taxes and you think you made 150 grand when actually you only made 100 and you already spent 150.
Yep.
Right? So you want to make sure you do that.
Does everyone know where to go to do the business plan?
If you don't know, I've put it in emails last couple of times I sent out. So if you don't know,
you can do
but here's the other thing. When you sit down and do it, because there's the other thing I would do is where your business came from. I would put down, so did that pie chart thing there. Do where your business actually came from too, so you can see where that came from. So we have rearranged the big board. It's going to be a little bit different for 2021 going forward. We're going to give you a couple week break. So you'll get a email that will come out. It'll go to this. Here's the categories this year. Your name. How many days this week did you log onto My Weichert and do at least one crucial activity? So 0 days, 1 day that you logged on, not just you logged on, so you did, but you actually did something when you're on there. Either you clean up your database a little bit, you emailed somebody, you texted somebody, some sort of crucial activity that you do on that. Linda. What? Oh, sorry. Yes, you are. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, you guys online see it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so category, there's 12 categories. How many days this week did you log on to My Weichert and do at least one activity? So 0 to 7 days. How many database additions did you add this week into your My Weichert database? 0, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, or 20 plus? Okay. How many real estate outreaches did you make this week via text, phone call, email, or in-person contacts? Okay. 0, 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, 61 to 80, so on and so forth. Did you do a property boost this week? Did you publish a new landing page this week? Did you publish a new squeeze page this week? You say, I don't know how to do it. After doing 2 or 3 of them, you'll know how to do it. And then you'll be setting yourself up for business. Did you publish an email out a home of the week to at least 10 people this week? That's Linda does that. So again, Linda, if you can send out everybody your example, she does a great job with that. But it's a really find the wreck of the week or something. Find something that's unique, the luxury property of the week, the home of the week, something that will differentiate to get people to open it up. Give it a title, they'll want to open it up.
Those of you that don't know what to do when you come in and you're like, okay, well, what should I work on? Or even if you're home, print that out and keep it with you, because it'll remind you of the things you could do to actually make business, create business for yourself. Okay.
How many broker training meetings did you attend? Those are these meetings that we do here, either online or in person. 0, 1, 2, or 3. We very rarely have 3, and we're actually not going to probably have 2 a month because we've changed the schedule a little bit to make it so it's a little less crazy for everybody, including me. How many two-step presentations that you guys don't know about did you do this week? Either practice or an actual listing. What I want, if you did a practice one every week, you practice with somebody, call up a friend and say, hey, can I do a practice one and do the 2-step process? Go to their house, walk through with them, do that, go home, put it together, and then go give them the presentation. Why? Why would you do that?
Practice, get better.
Get better. What else? They hear of somebody who wants to sell their home. Who are they going to call? You. Somebody who invested time to show them some great stuff. Linda.
So before, because I was still nervous and I was getting used to the two-step, I would practice with my dogs, and now that the baby's here, I practice with my baby.
Okay.
But I also have friends that support me, and they know that they're going to be leaving the state this year.
Right.
So I actually just practiced with them, and they're excited because then I go back and I show them the listing presentation. So I know that I have at least 3 listings in the next 6 months because they like what they've seen, and I've answered any question. And then also too, because you're doing the practice with them, they throw out these random questions that you didn't think that you were going to get, and 9 times out of 10, like, you are able to go back and find the answer.
Yep. For you that are newer agents in the business, especially, this is an awesome way of doing it. Call someone and say, hey, we've got this great tool. I need to practice and stay good at it. Could I do this? And do the 2-step process.
Yeah, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. And you will set up future business just like Linda is doing on that by doing that, because you're showing we do things differently. You show you're ahead of the game. You show so on that, how many open houses did you hold? The broker's tour that you run also count? How many open house guests did you register? How many training videos of 15 minutes longer did you watch from My Wycat Works or other sources? You'll fill that out, submit that. Now, the puppies. In your binder, and some of you don't have that there. So in your binder, there is a scoreboard success sheet. We have points for all of those. I direct your attention to page 3 of this, and these will be posted up. Here's the prizes for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place this year. Grand prize, $2,000. 2nd place, $1,000. 3rd place, $500. We're committed financially to having you guys do these activities because we know it's going to make a difference in your business.
Yes.
It's going to make a difference in your business. So here's the point breakdown. It'll be behind all your back part of your notes of the stuff that's in there.
Not stapled like yours?
No, it's not stapled.
And Dave's done an excellent job of setting that up and sending you an email each week.
Is this in the folder?
Write it down.
Say again, Carla.
Is this in the yellow folder?
Yeah, it's in the stuff that's this paper clip that's attached into in the middle of your binder. So it'll be the last 3 pages of those note section. But you'll know exactly how many points each thing's worth. Here's the proviso. There's rules there, but let me explain it to you very simply. To be eligible to win the prize or one of the prizes, catch this, you need to get at least 50% of the points. There's 114,760 points available, I believe, through the year. You need to be at like 54,000, whatever the number is there to be eligible. Now, here's the other side, which we didn't do on this one here, which was a flaw of that. Closings are worth 5,000 points. So you should get rewarded for closing properties too, because it's not just doing activity, it's actually closing. Closings are 5,000. If you double end it where the commission total is above 4%, it's 7,500 points.
Hey, do you get extra for closing a wiper lead?
Those will be regular closing. If you get a referral, okay, if somebody refers from outside the area, you get not a lead network or a reload referral, but a referral. Somebody else, hey, can you help my clients out there? That'll be worth 2,500 because that'll be, if it's one that comes from the outside, that'll be a regular closing. If you refer somebody out or a new home sale, that'll be 2,500 points for those closings. Points.
Points towards winning.
Yes. So maybe you're not as strong as.
All the closings are going to get a
Yes. 5,000 for regular, yeah. And so the rules are on there. We may make some adjustments as you guys look through those and you find the gotchas where you can cheat the system. That's not the point of this. The point is that, you know, you're being rewarded for activities that make a difference in foreclosings and all that.
Dave, will you have
Let's
those
see.
folders put on our desks if we're not in the office?
Yes, so I'll have the folder on your desk for you, and you've got that. Your success plan. Here, let me just go through this. When you do your success plan, these sheets that are in your binder, your folder that I gave you, what you're going to do is you're going to enter your target amount of gross commission income. So these are the worksheets inside your binder. I put some numbers in as examples. Okay, gross commission is the amount that comes into the office. So you need to figure on your split, what's taken out of yours, what your check is going to be. This is gross. This is overall that comes to the office. So if you want to make more than 100,000 or that, or if your target's 85,000, then 100,000 is the gross commission that you want coming to the office. So understand that when you're putting this together, that first number there, gross commission, is not how much you want to take home with you. That's the check that comes in. So do your calculations to figure out what it would be on that gross commission. Then you take that number there, transfer it down to gross commission income. Average side, we're averaging about 2.5%. That would be, it means you need to do $4 million in sales volume. It means you need to sell houses total value up to $4 million. So if you just bang it out one sale, you're all good to go. Yeah, but if it takes more than that, then, so once you've done that page there, you've got fill in the blanks on there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to enter your average sales price, which in our area is $590. That's the actual number for our area. So it's $590, and then our sales volume for the previous page is 4 million. Average sales price is 598,000. That means that you would need seven transactions to reach that number. Okay, to reach the 100,000 gross income. Okay, and then how many transactions from the previous slide? So you should figure a 60-40, 60% listing, 40% buyers. So it's 7 transactions. So it'd be 4 seller sides in this case and 3 buyer sides. So using 60-40 as the number. Again, just round up and make it there. Here's where this is helpful then. So in order to reach your side, not everything closes. So enter the number of seller sides needed, divide that by the success rate, and just use it for sellers. It's about an 80% success rate of closings. So in this case, I need to sell 4 homes to meet my target, and 80% success rate because something's not going to close. That means I need 5 listings in order to reach that. So that means I need 5 listings at a 65% rate. That means of appointments, that means I need 8 appointments to get my 5 listings to get my 4 sales. Okay. So I've given you those sheets there. Once you do your business plan, come in with me and we'll walk you through this, but I want you to understand your numbers of what you need to do. So it's not a 1-for-1. It's you got to have X number of listings to get X number of or X number of appointments to get X number of listings to get X number of closes. But it takes some work to do this. Why I spent a couple hours working on mine. Your success plan then for buyers, 3 buyer sides, success rate of 50% for closing, which means I need 6 buyers to get 3 closings right now. Okay. So and then a summary success plan. My target gross commission income is 100,000 to give my take home. Means $4 million in sales volume, 7 transactions. I need 4 sellers, 5 listings, 8 appointments. And with the buyers, I need 3 transactions and I need 6 buyers. So just on once you do all of this, then you can have a summary thing here that you can post this 1-page summary up to kind of see where you need to be. Okay. So first thing is do your business plan. Once you've done your business plan, then sit down with me, set an appointment for an hour, and I'll walk you through all this other stuff because I want you to know your numbers. I want you to know what it's really going to take for you to get there. And if you'll do the activities that we're outlining for the big board, that will get you to those numbers way quicker. I think if you guys took seriously the activities that we're recommending you do, the phone calls, the following your database, all that, I think that some of you will reach your goals within 6 months. Is if you really, really, really honestly work it. Okay. So business planning and time management. Let's see how much. Let's see. So save time by answering the Quant 24. That's the business plan. How to do that. Again, if you don't know where to find it, call me or talk to me. I'll show you how to find the business plan. Then put it together. If you don't like your answers, what your income is going to be after going through it the first time, go back and re-answer the questions and adjust what you're willing to do. And then once you've got your business plan done, then let's sit down and I'll walk you through this and the other tools that are in there. And then you'll have a nice little packet that you can start following, a plan to follow for this next year. But a plan is only good if what? You follow it. Okay. So that's why we spend the time doing this. And I appreciate you guys hanging in there and being a part of this online and in person. And if you're online, you want to come in for the party, we'd love to have you. We're going to start it in about 45 minutes. We got tons of food, so please come in. But I want you guys to have a successful 2021. But you've got to have a plan and you've got to work your plan. If you don't, you're going to be frustrated. I'm calling you every Monday. I want to see how your plan's going. I want to make, if you haven't filled out your activities thing, I'm going to hound you to fill it out. I want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to do well. The opportunities are there. I want you to get out there and be active. Activities equals appointments and equals transactions. Here's a quote from Jim Weichert, which you guys all got the answer right on that one, is I can't expect an agent to have a transaction every day, but I can expect an agent to do the activities every day that lead to a transaction. This is from a guy who started the company in 1969, who still does those things every day. You know, he does every Monday. Every Monday he goes in and he looks at the numbers from the week from all of the franchises throughout the United States to see what they're doing. And that's where they make adjustments on things, because tracking the numbers, if we're starting to slip, he's making sure that we get tools and things in place that'll get us back on track. So you got to know your numbers. I hate looking at my numbers because I'm not always meeting them, but I'll tell you this, every time I do a business plan and I have a plan of action, I do far better than when I don't have one. So I just encourage you to do that. And I'll send you the link to this. Don't fill it out, but at least you can, the link shows you what the questions are. You can look and see what those things are. If you don't understand what it means to do a squeeze page or a landing page or this or that, call me right away. I'll show you how to do it. Okay. We want you to be successful. You guys are great. We ended 9 minutes early. We will start with the Christmas party in about 45 minutes. Anybody have any questions online or in person before we close things up? No?